Hi everyone, great to have your company on Tassie Rules, Tasmania's footy show. We are back for our third episode of season 2024. Great to have your company. And of course, you can always stay involved with our show because it is about you. So please get in touch with us with any football stories that you may have, any club news that you want to share, events, and of course, highlights as well. And speaking of highlights, we have every week, of course, with thanks to Crafty Cuts, part of Little Rivers Brewing Company, our Photos of the Week segment. So we're going to bring up some of our great photos. And personally, look at that one. How good is that signage there for Crafty Cuts, the Little Rivers Brewing Company up there in Scottsdale. And we have had some great photos sent in, including this one. Now, this is from Dave Harding, who has sent this photo in. This is the marking contest late in the SFL clash last weekend between New Norfolk and Dodgers Ferry last Saturday. Dodgers Ferry winning in the end by 23 points down at the big ground of Boyer in New Norfolk. So thank you to Dave Harding. We also had this photo, taken in by Lisa Matcham, who sent these photos also from the New Norfolk Dodgers Ferry match, including this one here from inside the Dodgers Ferry change rooms from the New Norfolk Dodgers Ferry match as well. So thank you to Lisa for sending that photo in. But we've selected our winner for this week, and this is an absolute ripper, sent in by Anna Cornish. Have a look at these young tackers. This is the South East Junior Football Club. Under 9 players, Braden and Bailey. So this was taken at the STJFA match at Shark Park last week. So a big thank you to Anna for sending that in, and you're going to take home the gift pack this week thanks to the Crafty Cuts range at Little Rivers Brewing Company. So if you want to be a winner, all you got to do, it's pretty simple. When you're out at the footy on the weekend, send us in your best photo. You can either email it to us, we've got details on our Facebook page, or send it through on Messenger. We'd love to get your photos, and you could be in the running next week to take home a great gift pack thanks to Little Rivers. All right, we've got a big show coming up tonight very shortly with Harrison Agents. We've got another club in focus coming up. And, well, we've got some famous faces. They're going to be joining us all together from up in Queensland. They're heading down here to the Bridport Football Club next weekend. That is our club in focus for this week. And in our women's football segment, with thanks to Cleanaway and also our Tasmania Football Club segment, Emma Humphreys, former AFLW player, and Bernie Docker in the TSLW, played a key role in the launch of the Tasmania Football Club last month. She's going to join us from her home in Perth. So plenty to get through and a lot more. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly.
Durable, reliable, heavy duty. Get the power you need from the people who know machinery. For sales, parts, servicing and expert advice, call DLM Machinery today or visit dlmmachinery.com.au.
And welcome back to Tassie Rules, Tasmania's footy show. It's great to have your company. Well, our next guest has had a wonderful career in women's football, starting with the Bernie Dockers, where she played in the TSLW Premiership before going on to a fantastic AFLW career. And it is a great pleasure to welcome to the show Emma Humphreys, joining us over from Perth. Now, you were telling me off camera, Emma, it's 31 degrees over there in Perth today. It's nowhere near that here today, but how are you? Good to have you with us on the show. Thanks for joining us.
No, thanks for having me. Lovely 31 over here. Sun's out, no clouds in the sky at the moment. So, just enjoying that warm April weather.
Fantastic. Always a good place to be over there in Perth. But as I said, plenty of great memories for you over your career, from the journey of starting, obviously, in women's football. Tell us a little bit, how did you get into football to start with? Because obviously we've seen the women's game evolving so magnificently over the last decade, but what attracted you to the sport?
Yeah, I think my pathway is going to look a lot different to what it will for young boys and girls now, that's for sure. But no, just very, very sporty girl growing up, and played soccer for about 14 years actually. So I think I just, in the end, got a little bit tired of that and saw Bernie had a team and just went down and trained and went from there, really.
So West Park became your new home, and obviously a very famous ground in football circles down the northwest coast. And you reflect on that, obviously, but and some great success when the TSLW was being played. But you went on to represent your state as well, and we've got a picture here. I think you might have been up against Queensland in this particular game. But what are your memories of I guess representing Tasmania, particularly now when we see the pathway of VFLW and AFLW on the horizon?
Yeah, no, windy West Park, a lot of memories there. But I think, being able to pull on the map at the time for Tassie, we probably didn't realise at the time how lucky we were. But you look back on it and reflect, and at the time that we had a one-off game once a year, and that's all we got. But come the future, girls and boys will be able to pull that map on week in, week out now. And it's just, the visibility and the growth for the game that Tassie has now. It's up to us now as people to really push that, and I can't wait to see what happens in the future.
It's going to be fantastic. It's very exciting, and we'll get to that in a moment as well. But getting drafted for you, Emma, we've got a photo here of, I think it was at the season launch with the Melbourne Football Club, and the presentation there of the number 3 jumper. These must be incredible memories for you on a personal front with where you got from playing soccer to playing at the highest level in your chosen sport. I mean, how proud are you of yourself? Because you should be. It's been a wonderful journey on the field.
Yeah, it has been. It's been a long one. 6 years in it, a couple of years of AFL as well, and then being able to get back into the AFLW with West Coast. Something really proud of, and having a look back at those photos, jumper presentations, group photos, that sort of thing, you reflect on them, and just it brings you a big immense pride in what we've been able to do with the pathways that we had. There's been 20 or 25 of us girls from Tassie that have been able to forge away in the AFLW.
Indeed.
And I guess, bring visibility to the girls that will be coming through now.
Absolutely. Emma Humphries is our special guest here on Tasmania's Footy Show, and great to have you with us over from Perth. But we've got a picture here of you over there in your West Coast Eagles jumper as well, so we thought with the occasion obviously being in Perth, we better reflect on that as well. But the other photo we'll bring up in a moment is the launch, of course, last month. You were a special guest down here. You got to go down to the northwest coast. You were in Devonport there. We haven't got a photo, I'm sorry, of you and Richo together, but because I know there was a bit of a height differential there, and he's a big man. But you had the special privilege of obviously being able to reveal our club colours at the Devonport launch last month. How special was that for you?
Yeah, when I got the email from Kath, it was a pretty special one to read. Just being involved, or just having seen what went into it, and the work that everyone put in behind the scenes was just like pure amazing. But having the honour to be involved in it and reveal those colours at Devonport to local footballers as well that were in the room, it's definitely something that I won't forget.
No, and final question on the football side of things now is we touched on it a little bit earlier. Obviously, the opportunities that now present to our young women that are looking to make football a career. What advice would you give to them? Because obviously you've had a great career yourself. The opportunities now here that our young women and players of the future can obviously have that inspirational goal to play for their own state. But what advice would you give to them?
I think they just have to take the opportunities that are presented to them, and they've got to run with it and put everything into it that they can.
Indeed, good advice. Now, what I just want you to touch on this, because this is something that obviously is really important. You are the program operations lead with Tackle Your Feelings, which is a mental health training program for community AFL clubs and coaches as well. I'd love you to tell our viewers tonight, because we've got a captive football audience, what Tackle Your Feelings is all about and your role.
Yeah, no, you pretty much got it spot on it. Yeah, it's a mental health literacy program for community footy clubs around Australia. We have an ARPA-registered psychologist deliver every workshop for us. So we're a national program. We just held one at Wynyard actually when I was back for the launch. Went back to my local club back there, and we held a workshop for the players back there, and we'll be back again in June and to hold a TYF round. I won't give too much away with one of the leagues back down there. But
fabulous.
Yeah, no, we're just delivering mental health literacy program to local community footy coaches, committee members, clubs, and we've just brought in the players this year as well.
That's a great thing, because I think, work in the media, but the media attention on football and footballers is so intense and immense now that people, a lot of journalists live and breathe it, but that's only one small part. So it's a fantastic thing. So well done on that. And look, well done to you as well. I mean, obviously throughout your career, but now post-career working here in this program and being involved with the Tasmania Football Club. I know you're over there in Perth at the moment, but I just get this feeling that Emma Humphries will maybe sneak back and maybe be involved one day with our own Tassie AFL team.
Fingers crossed.
All right, really appreciate your time. Thanks for being on the show, Emma.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
So that's Emma Humphries. Great to have her on from Perth in Western Australia. Had a great AFLW career and a great ambassador for our Tasmania Football Club as well. And a big thank you to Cleanaway for their continuing support of the segment. Now, just before we go to a break, speaking of the Tasmania Football Club, you've got until tomorrow, 5 o'clock this Friday afternoon, to order your foundation jumper. You have to be a registered member. So if you haven't, you can get a member ID by becoming a founding member for just $10 at membership.tasmaniafc.com. So make sure you get on there and get your order in for your Guernsey. And just finally, a big plug for the NTFA Women's Gala Day. Their women's season gets underway this Saturday. We're using 2 grounds up there at the Scottsdale Football Club, so you can find all the details there on the NTFA Facebook page, as well as the fundraisers. But a great weekend coming up there. So that is it for our segment for this week. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. Plenty more to come here on Tassie Rules, Tasmania's local footy show.
Durable, reliable, heavy duty. Get the power you need from the people who know machinery. For sales, parts, servicing and expert advice. Call DLM Machinery today or visit dlmmachinery.com.au.
All right, welcome back to Tassie Rules. This is Tasmania's footy show with thanks to Harrison Agents. It's time for another Club in Focus, and you're with your host, Rick Fontaine. Great to have your company. And this week, it is the Bridport Football Club. Now, they re-entered the NTFA last season after a year in recess. An enormous amount of work and effort, obviously going back into the club, being part of the competition once again through their president, Steve McKillop, and all the volunteers down at the club. Now, they're currently sitting 4th on the ladder after 2 rounds, a win and a loss apiece. But in round 4, Saturday week, they're going to take on Evandale up at one of the most picturesque football grounds in Tasmania. But it's just part of what is a massive weekend in the state's northeast. It is going to be an absolute cracker. And we've got 4 guests joining us. They are in Queensland at the moment, but they're going to be down here in Tassie next week, and they're going to have a lot of fun to be a part of it. So 4 faces that you're probably very, very familiar with. It is a great pleasure, firstly, to welcome Simon Black, 3-time AFL Premiership player with the Brisbane Lions, of course, and a Brownlow medalist in 2002. Blackie, good to see you. Look as though you're running around in the AFL again. You just look so fit still.
No, looks the same, Rick, but nice to see you, mate.
Yeah, good to see you again. Obviously, we caught up with you at the AFL Grand Final breakfast up at the Country Club with South Launceston last year. Now, another very familiar player is Adrian Fletcher, former Glenorchy player, of course, proud Tasmanian, went on to play 231 AFL games, including being a former captain of the Fremantle Dockers. So, Fletch, I know you come down to Tassie being part of that great Relive the Rivalry that James Wiggins puts on every year for, I think, just about every year. I know coming down to beautiful Georgetown, but good to see you once again.
Yeah, Rick. I get down there I do a 2-day pre-season and play that game and then catch up with the boys, basically.
Fantastic. And I know for particularly Richmond fans and Brisbane Lions fans as well, this man needs no introduction. 219 games for the Richmond Football Club, then went on to play 96 for the Brisbane Bears and the Brisbane Lions. Welcome back, Craig Lambert. You haven't changed it all either, Craig. Look at you.
Oh, thanks, Rick. I thought you were going to give the same intro as Simon Black, but being next to him now, I'm glad you didn't because he's in fantastic form. And we're just looking forward to getting down to Tassie. It's a beautiful place.
It is.
And we can't wait, actually. Yeah.
Yep. Now, the first person we're going to speak to, well, he hasn't played at an AFL level, but he's got a great autobiography down here in Tasmania. He's a bit of a legend of the northeast community, but he's done some great things in football since going up into the mainland, including playing up in the Northern Territory. Mark Blackberry, great to see you, mate. I said obviously a close affiliation with the Bridport Football Club yourself, but nice to have you with us.
Thanks, Rick. It's bloody can't wait to get down to the home state and. It's amazing what Bridport's been able to do, and being able to bring these guys down is just fully amazing.
Well, first question to you, just on that, can you tell a little bit of background for those who are not aware? How did this event actually come about? We'll go into a bit of detail shortly, but this event, it is an event. It lasts for the whole weekend, but we got the All-Stars game, and we can see we got the slide up for our viewers on the screen now. But where did it all start?
Well, it's 3 years ago I put to the guys because Bridport was in a bit of strife, and my parents actually built the ground up on the new area where they are. So from the seafront oval to up on the hill, so the best view in the world.
It's amazing.
I put it to a group of my mates, these guys including, and Luke Hodge was in the initial game as well, and we came down there and sort of a bit of a fundraiser. Bridport wanted to honour my parents and originally, and then COVID sort of hit, so I pushed it back. I said, well, look, I could probably bring a few guys down here and we can make a bit of money for the club and so forth. And these guys just jumped on board straight away. And we got down there. The first year we raised $70,000 for the club. Last year we raised $40,000 for the club, and hopefully it's a similar number. This year. So
fantastic, and well done to you and your family. It's a fair bit of, it's a decent piece of real estate there in Bridport. That's for sure a magnificent location. Now, Blackie, I know, as I said before, you're no stranger to Tasmania. I know you love coming down here, and you've been here a lot over the journey as well. Obviously, with your football career, but post career as well, in what you've done. But other than playing on the Sunday in the All-Stars game as well, you're going to be hosting a free kids clinic pre-game on Saturday as well. We've got details on the screen now for our viewers. The kids football clinic that gets underway at 10 a.m. A great opportunity for all the kids up in the northeast, and also from Evandale coming up to support their team on that. But no doubt something that you're looking forward to, Blackie.
Yeah, absolutely, Rick. We encourage all kids, all families from that north of Tassie there, or any region of Tassie really, to come along on Saturday afternoon, watch Bridport play, and we'll have a bit of a clinic and I guess try and pass a few little skills and what have you, what we can do, boys, and have a bit of fun with in the community. It's a great community, the Bridport area. So encourage all families and young kids to come along and have a bit of fun for the afternoon.
It'll be a ripper. And Fletch, as I said, you come down here every year and play. Still actively involved with Relive the Rivalry. So obviously you must be one of the fitter footballers going around still, and obviously watching your son doing some great things at the Brisbane Lions. So no doubt you'll be in tip-top shape next weekend.
Yeah, well, I'm actually coaching the Tassie All-Stars. I've searched hard and far to find some fit fellas. We've done a 2-day pre-season, so they're raring to go there, but we're not allowed to warm-up.
Okay.
If we do a warm-up, we might get some blokes with hamstrings. So we'll ship them out onto the ground and hope for the best.
Well, I've done about a three-day pre-season, 6'1". You got a spot for me?
I definitely have. Get your boots, get your socks, be there.
Jeez.
I think we'll do our warm about 2 minutes to 2.
Fantastic.
So.
That sounds right up my alley. And for you, Craig, I said you before you came down here previously, I'm going to ask you a non-related football question. Are you a golfer? Because you're coming to sort of a golfing mecca of Tasmania and probably Australia, actually.
Rick, I'd like to be a golfer. I have played some parts probably 5-6 years ago, but haven't played for a while. I actually bought a brand new set of clubs yesterday, some Strixon. So I'm aiming to play a lot more golf as we go now because I'm out of the footy scene now. I'm out of the footy caper and I'm starting to get my weekends back. So I'm hoping in about a year or two when you ask me that, I can say, yeah,
Okay.
I'm a golfer.
We'll do that. Hey, but you are going to be involved, you guys, with a night with the Stars on the Saturday night at the Bridport Football Club. Again, details on the screen there for everyone to see. That's on the Saturday night. It's free entry as well. So how good is that to be there with some absolute legends? And we must mention not only you four, but recently retired Brisbane Lions star who's actually going to be pulling on the boots for the Bridport Football Club and playing in that game against Evandale Football Club. But you're going to be seeing a guy who can probably kick 3/4 of the length of the field in Daniel Rich. So what an absolute bonus that is for everyone that's going to be down there that day. It should be an absolute cracker. So, guys, I know you've got, just quickly, last question for you two. You guys, you got the jumpers on there. They look great. Sunchip. Now, Mark, I know this is obviously your place of employment. Tell us a little bit about the relevance of Sunchip.
It's a forestry business up here, Rick. I've been involved in forestry all my life, and we do all the harvesting and haulage of all the softwood plantations in Queensland and New South Wales, and been going for 28 years. So I'm pretty proud of it. We've got 350 staff within all of our businesses, and it's a great place to live. I love Tassie. It's close to my heart, but it's hard to beat this Queensland weather other than this year where it's been quite sodden.
Well, we've had the best summer in my lifetime down here, so you'll be in for a treat next weekend, I would expect. But it's going to be the Sunchip All-Stars against the Tassie All-Stars. That's coming up on Sunday week at Bridport, and you're going to see these four involved in that game that weekend as well. Hey, guys, great to have you with us. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to actually catching up with you guys next weekend down at Bridport. It's going to be an absolute ripper. All the details of what is happening will be up on our socials as well, so make sure you tune in and capture all that. But, guys, thanks for being a part of our footy show this afternoon, and we look forward to seeing you down here in Tassie next weekend.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks, Rick.
Cheers, Rick.
Great to have them with us. Simon Black, Adrian Fletcher, Craig Lambert, and also Mark Blackberry joining us here with thanks to Harrison Agents, our club in focus. All right, just a few things to get through before the end of tonight's show. We've got some great football coming up around the state this weekend. Let's have a look at some of the SFL games. And firstly, the Cygnet Football Club. So this is your segment. We want clubs to get in touch with us with what you've got coming up. So thank you to Cygnet. This Saturday, we've got footy all day through the Colts, Reserves and Senior Men and Women. Cygnet are taking on Huonville, and one of the real proud clubs of Tasmanian football, the Hobart Football Club, the Tigers. They're going to be playing at the TCA ground in Hobart. This is a night game coming up tomorrow night at the TCA ground, where Hobart are going to be taking on Lindisfarne. Now, just a couple of events as well, just to bring you up to speed with, for all you Essendon fans. There we go. Coming up, Dyson Heppel and Sammy Draper. I'll be sitting down with these two for a Q&A at the Latrobe Football Club. That's coming up at 8 p.m. on June the 15th. Those two Star Bombers will be here in Tassie for that. Jump on the Latrobe Football Club Facebook page. You can get all the details. I got an update a little earlier. It is selling very, very fast, so make sure you get in quick for that one. In the TSL this week, thanks to Dave Moore and the team at City Park Radio, they've got you covered with all the action. Round 4 coming from UTAS Stadium, North Launceston and Glenorchy. Live coverage on City Park Radio from 5 to 1. That is this Saturday afternoon. Details of how you can tune in there on your screen as well. And just finally, this is a fantastic event coming up at Blue Gum Park in Georgetown. That'll be next weekend, honouring the two men on your screen, the late Gary Crane and also Rod Green, father of Brad. The big memorial game coming up on Saturday, the 27th of April at Blue Gum Park. It starts at 2:30 p.m. Both were some of the most respected members of their football club, Georgetown for Gary Crane and also Rod Green and Hillwood. It's going to become an annual event, so this is a great legacy and a great memory for these two superstars as well. There'll be a shield presented. Should be a cracking game of football too between these two big rivals on the East Tamer. So once again, any news you got, send it in to us and we'll get it put up here on Tassie Rules Our Footy Show. That's all we've got time for this week. Thank you once again to DLM Machinery, our great partner of the show. Get everything in. Don't forget your photos, and we'll see you next week here on the show.